And I'm good to go. Greetings. Hello, everyone. Hi. Hi, Garrett. Very nice to see you.
Good to see you too.
Hi, everyone. I want to introduce you to Garrett Hamilton. I met him probably about 14 months ago, New Year's Eve, right? 2018. So right
hmm
before we got into 2019. And we actually spent a lot of time talking and getting to know each other and really trying to, as I recall, launch some of our visions for 2019 and into 2020. And so,
hmm
Garrett, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? First of all, what do you do?
Well, right now I am creating myself. Just a background on myself. Depression has been a big part of my life, and I had thought that that was a hindrance and something wrong with me. But long story short, I've realized it's been put upon me to show me to bring this out into the world and kind of normalize it. And I don't like that word normalize, but just make depression more known to people. And what it's done for me is shown me what I need to do. And when I say need to do, when I'm in my depressions, I would do a lot of blaming and a lot of blame throwing and whatnot. And now what it's taught me is, instead of complaining about things I don't see, that I don't want, why don't I create them? So what I'm starting to do is create Facebook Live. And what I'm doing with that is talking about um, my experience with depression, my experience with being a intuitive empathic healer and what that means. I apologize, I'm being a little scattered, but that's me. um, um, but about me is I'm a Reiki master. I've also studied emotional freedom technique, a light body energy worker. My wife and I did a year-long class with that, working with Orrin and DeBen. And also we did a year-long course on the law of attraction. And coming back around to full circle now, I used to look at my depression over these past 10 or 12 years as a detriment. And now I'm realizing it's pushed me to start to talk about this and talk about how it's affected me, how it's affected my wife, how to navigate this, because there is no real, in my opinion, I haven't found really anything that when you're in it, you just feel out of control. And I want to create a place for people to come and share and maybe learn through my experience only about what I've learned about dealing with depression and how I navigate that.
Well,
And I know that didn't answer your question, but
well, of course it did. It actually clues us into where you're at.
Mhm,
But so what I'm wondering about, so when we worked together last year
mhm.
and we started to look at where you were and where you wanted to go, how did you feel that that helped you?
Oh, wow.
In what way did this work help you find a way out of this maze of depression? Because I have to say, my experience even is that when is going like I'm finding myself, oh my God, and going down into this maze. So how did we work with you to help you get out of this depression?
Okay, this is going to sound a little odd, but it wasn't a after the session with you was absolutely miraculous. The things you pulled up, the things you helped me find some of my spirit animals. Um, and I just want to point out, and I don't know if you remember the story, but or not the story, but when you were doing a reading for me, you were telling me that, and stop me if I'm right, but you were literally telling me at the time, and you saw at the time, that I needed to do this for myself. But I wasn't able to hear that. I wasn't able to see that. I remember you telling me that I needed to get 2 selenite wands. And once I did get that, I would start to get some clarity. Well, that happened as well. My wife got me 2 selenite wands.
Okay.
I didn't put it together at the time because, I've been in and out of depression and whatnot. But once I put all these things together, where you telling me about find your wands, when you get your wands, you're going to call the people in that you need. But the people in that I needed, I always thought it was someone else. when it was this guy right here. I needed to do what I needed to do. I don't need to wait for all these people to come. And literally just over the past couple of weeks, it's literally made, I've realized that through that first session with you. And I'm going to owe this to you because you were the one that said to me in a very nice way that you allowed me to be me, is what I'm saying. You probably saw that I needed to do this myself, but you didn't tell me that. You just told me you need to get your wands, and once you get your wands, things will start to fall together. And I actually use those two wands constantly. They're on my altar. Um, and it really was you, it really was that was the incubus for this, because it it really made me realize that I can do this on my own. I have a voice. I have something I can say, and I don't have to make it fit in everyone's box. I can just be me and work with the people who have affinity to me. I hope that answers your question.
No, that absolutely answered the question. I, because I don't remember what happens and I don't remember what I say.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm.
I do remember the essences, and I remember the feelings that I had. And I remember loving the work that you were kind of bringing yourself to do,
Hmm.
and feeling into how it was gelling, and also this concept I have that most of us who do this kind of soul work, well, we do it because we need to learn the work first. We do it for our own soul growth, and then we spread it out. And that was my feeling of, okay, this is Garrett's soul, his soul life, his soul work, his soul awakening.
Hmm.
And it does come from that ground of being. And it also, comes from, and that's why we coach, and you're going to be coaching, and we work with people to help give them a ground of being, and
Hmm.
sometimes to not get lost along the way. So
Right.
I know for myself that when I do a session for people, I probably lay out a lot of information, like a big pathway here. And it's really overwhelming. And so
Hmm.
that's when I learned that it's better to take people along pathways along it so we can not get lost.
Right.
I get lost, so I just assume everyone else is going to get lost on the way. So
Hmm.
it's a pathway is what I'm
Hmm.
saying. And so you're saying that
I agree.
you've you've reached a place now from that place where you're now ready to show up.
Yes.
Good. So
Yep.
where can my people find you?
Right now, I'm operating out of Facebook on Law of Allowing. It's a private page. If anyone wants to join it, just ask. My wife and I will
You'll
accept
send me
your
we'll
invitation.
post the links when we post
Yeah.
this. Yes.
Yep. And basically, I'm just going on there right now, and I'm not really being structured. I'm just being me. I'm just kind of because one of the biggest things that helped me is cacao, and not just any cacao, ceremonial grade cacao, which I'm not going to get into all that. But um, and what I do is I get on every day. I don't have a plan. I don't have anything written out. I let people know that this is just me being me, and you getting to know me, and me getting to figure out what exactly I want to do. And I just get on every day and I have cacao and I talk about cacao, and then I talk about what I'm good at, what I have experience in. Um, I invite people to try certain processes, certain practices, because I'm a firm believer in what worked for me was practice, perception, and perspective.
I love it.
And I believe those three things um, are very key to spiritual growth
I love it. I love it.
from my experience, because I also preach, or not preach, but I know what I don't, I know what I know, and I know what I don't know. And if I don't know something, I'm not going to pretend to be like I know that, because you're going to feel it. The people are going to feel it, and I want to be as vulnerable, almost probably people would say to a detriment, but I'm not about construct, and I'm not about the flow, meaning the flow of doing what everyone else does. I'm about creating things out of that's never been tried before. So
I
that's kind of a little bit into me.
I love it. But first of all, guys, we've been talking with Garrett Hamilton, who also very modest, by the way, very
Thank
humble.
you.
Definitely his cacao ceremonies. He's also a chef, I have to tell you, and
Thank you.
quite a communicator. And I'm really honored to have you. And also, I was really honored to do your session last year. So if I was to leave everyone with one comment, what's one comment you would say about working with Dr. Joan or Joan of Angels?
I will say magical, but I will add within that very insightful, very heartfelt, and very genuine. And I could, do a litany of more, but that's what I can leave it with.
Genuine, warm, caring,
Yep, heartfelt
insightful.
and insightful. Very, yes,
And I helped you get some clarity.
you did. And I just want to point out that for me, and again, because of where I was, it wasn't an instant. It was, I understood what you said, but it unfolded like you were talking. Your path is like this, but now you're like little, do little paths. And it was for me to let that unfold. And when it did, I believe I reached out to you too when I really got it. And I called and I said, look, I have my wands. Oh my God, I didn't quite get my realization I have now, but it unfolded just beautifully, just the way you held me. So
I love it.
I appreciate
I
that.
love it. So anytime I want to check in with you all the time, and love to come to one of your cacao ceremonies.
Yes.
If I have to do it long distance, I'd love to drop in on Facebook one night. So you'll send us the links. All right, guys.
Yes.
So Joan of Angels saying, have a fantastic day. You never know when one word, one touch, one thought, one session can help shift another person and help them step into who they are. And I just love anyone I just love you. And
I
I'm
love you.
so
Thank
happy
you.
to do this too. So love to your wife and
Thank you.
beautiful art from you and laws of attraction, like attracts like, and expect miracles today, Garrett.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Okay. Where can we reach you, Garrett?
Okay, you can reach me. The best place right now is email, and that's garrett@lawofallowing.com. And if you want to see me, go onto Facebook and request to join Law of Allowing, and we will accept your request, and you can start to see what I'm creating.
Love it. Love it. And I'm your host, Joan of Angels. You can find me at joanofangels.com and on Facebook and everywhere that miracles are manifesting.